Welcome back to spooky season, my little candy corns. Tonight, while I was milling about the cauldron, I sensed a disturbance. Someone was casting a tremendous curse, like a spiderweb, jostled by a doomed little fly. Or more correctly, 7 doomed little flies. Join Paperback Radio for a story of horror and tragedy. The Empty Chair by Lane McLeod Jackson.
How wonderful. I thought that was the bell, but it's sometimes very difficult. If I drift off to sleep, off to somewhere off, to nothing. Who knows? Who knows what sounds are from my home, and what noises emerge from the next place I'll dream. But, enough of my distractions. Please, sit down. All around. Pull up a chair next to my bed. That's it. My, how vibrant. No. I'm using a euphemism. Hardly appropriate for a man my age. Hardly dignified for a person in my ill health. But this is when one speaks their mind, you see. Deathbed confessions should be amusing or shocking. They should twist any previous interpretation you had of the soul in question. If a deathbed confession does not make you feel in your heart of hearts that this soul should be sent straight to hell, what kind of life could be said he lived? However, in this company, I must admit, the little things I have been able to accomplish, the minuscule minor degradations my humble body has been so fortunate as to force upon the world, well, sometimes amateurs meet professionals, don't they? But I will not be ashamed, for I think despite my limitations, you cannot say that I left anything wanting in my recent endeavors. So please don't bring out your knife yet. We've only gotten started, and I haven't finished my confession. So impatient is youth. Why? Theoretically, barring other complications, there's nothing but time in your hands. And you, the 7 of you, the cream of privilege and beauty. That aristocratic pedigree is the junior partner in the pair, you know. Beauty. Beauty is the center of all we strive for and all that is good. The ugly towards the radiant is the purest form of envy. Nothing else matches. Why else would modernity pine for an otherwise obsolete past? It's the architecture, the Gothic castle, the Renaissance-inspired columns, the statues of marble, the paintings in oil, our sensuality of past suffering. Now, everything is cheap, including the food, including the ease of life, a modern wonder, all this survival. I should be dead years ago instead of lying invalid in my bed. Don't suppose you'd pass me some water? Not inclined to merciful last request? That's all right, neither am I. Still, you require me, and I have no use for any of you except a little water, and for you to put down that dagger Good boy. Now, tell your sycophants to pass me the glass and squeeze a tiny bit of lemon. It's all the flavor I get now. Haven't I earned a last swallow of bitterness? See? Doesn't complete subjugation feel good? Maybe not in the sense of bringing pleasure, but in the discovery of meaning, purpose. Others, since the death of God, have floundered, but you found me. I'd have you kiss my feet and wash them, but I haven't much time, and neither do you, unless you listen very carefully. What's this? A taste of poison? Arsenic? How much time do you think you'll rob of me? Seconds? Minutes? My death hastens your destruction. And as I can see in the face of your friends, this was a solitary act of suicide, so I shan't include them. Call me Circe. I mean it. Say my name. Call me by the goddess. Oh, you can't. Your throat is already tightening up. It's changed. Don't try to grab. Those fingers are already gnarled and calcified. Or should I say, cloven hooves, boy? Squeal. Squeal, for you can no longer scream. Oink, oink. I want an action made clear. It is within my power to wipe that pig free of his mind. Let him live happily as a swine, but I choose not to. He's still your friend and brother, bloated and good only for the butcher. And if there was more than an hour left to my existence, I'd have you slice his throat and feed me the flanks. But time is the one thing I don't have on my side, and we are down to 6. Brothers in arms, if not in blood. Well, depends on whose. Blood, I mean, because these remaining 6 have all bathed in gore. A howitzer, a rifle, a cannon, savage or noble natives forever undocumented, as streaming lead prove the moral superiority of our civilization. Am I sermonizing? Am I boring? I see your eyes drift. You, the one in the back. No, the small one. I remember. She thought you were no danger because of the smile. Because, and forgive my daughter for this minor prejudice, your slight height. She imagined you as a little brother because you physically looked up. She was very tall, but you all know that. It was her act in the circus, the Amazon woman, the tall woman, the strong woman, my little Atlanta. My glorious child. Did you not know? Seems as if this is news. But then again, you never would have known her name. Her birth moniker was Rachel. But from her first steps, from the speed at which she raced the world, I knew my precious girl was Atlanta. And you, small little men, have no golden apples, no magic fleece, and if I'm going to stretch this metaphor in this play, I am Medea. Do these references mean anything to any of you? You 3, good, you're the educated ones. That must mean you lot are the brutes. Yes, I see that. I've only come to know you, well, through papers, and some pictures. Step up, Napoleon. Let me touch your hand. Thank you. The warmth of your blood is comforting. Parts of me want to ask, why? It does, I admit to curiosity. I'm a learned man. Curiosity has always been my burden, my fundamental sin. What did we do? A little theft? Hardly. But say Gordon did see a shiny. You met him. He was simple. He probably forgot the silver in his pocket. I've seen him stare at spoons, fascinated by the face twisted around in metal. And you met him, ate with him, showed him off to other friends. We didn't take that personally. That's our purpose for your kind. How could you ask more of Gordon? Which one here? Who's the funny man I've read about? The one with the lisp. There, don't be ashamed. I judge you not. How can I? Who am I to see you in that perfect form which God sculpted from clay and breathed life into? Who am I to judge the serpentine tongue, the occasionally, so very occasionally, twist of feminine phrasing? Are you ashamed? Perhaps you hold the desires these fellow men assume. Is that what keeps you to your brothers? The hidden longing? Nightly dreams of furious intensity when you engage in brutality? Does that help? Do you sleep better? Stop. Forgive me. My apologies. Didn't I relate earlier my tendency towards curiosity? Utter enmity is no excuse for incivility. Do not feel the need to answer. Simply choke on that tongue. Watch him fall, boys. Watch. Now, in a moment, you might think, once the horror begins to fade, why can't he breathe through his nose? But when and if you open his mouth, you'll see that muscle, already the largest in the body, has swelled, engorged, currently pushing itself up and down his throat. You can even see the bulge here from the outside. If I simply find the will inside myself, it will burst from that fragile pipe we call a neck. However, then he would die of blood loss, and I'd rather him choke on that soft, precious tongue. Hold. Stay. Do not move my remaining pentagram. Do not think I require words, not at this stage, not so close to death. For those masters of my art, there is no time when we are more dangerous than when we host oblivion. And there is still a chance for your survival, I promise. And at this stage, I cannot bring myself to lie. And when was I? Oh yes, Sapphire. Lovely, lovely little lady. A lovely, lovely, lonely land. She's the one who reached out to me, from beneath the earth. This will amuse you. She initially didn't tell me your names, or what happened. I've mentioned already, she blamed herself. No, not these fine, handsome men. Gentlemen. They'd had too much to drink. She'd been too vivacious, not her word. Sapphire apologized for leading you all on. I know she didn't. She had always been very clear, friendly, kind, but clear. However, since she was the first to die, my little protege had no idea you all turned on the others. She figured that you had purchased their silence. After all, we've seen our friends die before. We know nothing will be done. Justice has no patience for our shrill, desperate cries, so why not take the money? Didn't occur never crossed her broken, shattered skull that you would simply finish the job. But once I had Sapphire, and she had been told the others never came home. Well, you've already seen her. The ghost of your dreams, the beginning of these troubles. I can't count all the ways our curse has twisted about your life. Normally, and this is a bit of professional insight, on typical, standard, regular, boring occasions, it is a single person's grief, or rage, or never-ending sense of vengeance that empowers these blistering enchantments. A curse does not come from study. If you look about this mausoleum they built to house my bed and peer through these notes, not one citation would enlighten you, my friends, to your fate. Curses aren't crafted. They're born. Living things that suck and feed and grow. The ghosts carried them to you. And Sapphire has tended the garden, as has Atlanta, Michelle, Sarat, Bourdon, Helen, Xavier, and that's all, actually. It may surprise you to know that Gordon, simple Gordon, even in death, never quite learned to hate. Not that he's moved on, he's simply suffering, confused, desperate for his friends, his family. All alone. He can't see me, but I can see. I can find my precious friend, my little brother. Gordon is not part of this curse, but your brutality in regards to him will fuel the fires in your personal hells. Is everyone comfortable? The chairs were set out, but they are small wooden things. My friend, be careful. One shouldn't scratch so vigorously. You've already taken the skin off the top of your hand. Dear me, hadn't noticed. It's been going on for some time, since we touched, in fact. Do not censor yourself. The blood on the floor is only the beginning. It's the rot inside you. Let it out. Can you see them? Now I'm sure you feel them. Eating away, feeling faint, telling yourself it's the horror, fear, it's the magic. Not realizing some things are mundane. You're hungry because there is no food in you. There are no guts. There is no living anything. It's simply nothing. No. We must be accurate. There are worms. Look. We can view them bursting out. See, friend? Would it be macabre to take his now empty skin and turn it into leather? He doesn't even need to be stripped or tanned. There's nothing but skin left. And now we are down to 3. My, the clock is running down. Yes, so I did promise. I did promise an escape, as I was saying earlier, and please, I cannot help but beg you to indulge my consistent and uncontrollable tangents. My voice slips out. My teeth no longer act as a gateway. A little breath remains, and it must carry these final goodbyes. I was saying most curses emerge from one soul. Had I not remained alive for this interlude of justice, they would have all simply raged in place. Once the haunting started, some of you might leave. And frankly, they would only harm the owner of that very pretty property. A blood-stained Pemberley, I thought, when looking at the pictures. Who owns it? Ah, yes, of course, the one still rattling on the floor. The boy still burns. You'd think he'd run out of blood by now. This curse was born of the dead, all of them using my body as a channel. It's aged me. Never, not once could I be confused for possessing the kind of vitality I see in this remaining trio, but once I could travel about, read from my library, even feel the sun as I stood and directed the sights, adoring children and the wicked who brought them. A ringmaster with no talents but a single gift, I channel those who would speak. I am the vessel for other geniuses, both the living and the dead, so alone I have not the power to curse, even as I wish it. So this means one of you will escape with your life. But, as you have no doubt noticed these last 3 months, a great deal of suffering can take place without death, as our good friend Job learned. How many of this once manly brood have lost children? Whose wives are currently sick? Or are we dealing with financial hardships, which might cause more pain with this particular audience? See, the curse is already alive, feeding. And now you might be thinking to yourselves in the bosom of brotherly affection, just stay strong. We might be able to face off the remaining curse together. At the very least, we have a chance to run. The old man is dying. He can't direct our suffering anymore. Very noble. But remember, my hatred knows no limits. And in the moment of my death, I'll finally have the power to join the curse against you, and then we will be even. 7 murderers and 7 victims, each slowly switching places. But if you starve the curse before I die, leave only one of you breathing, I'll not be able to find a target. But I'll get to see my revenge in person. Oh, look. Here's that knife you intended to use on me. 3 are left. 2 must die, so 1 might live. And the trio only has as long as I have to breathe. Now. Let me rest my voice. Decide amongst yourselves. Don't mind me. I'll simply be watching.
Well, that's another world saved, doomed, and or slightly weirder than we found it. Either way, you made it.
And when you're ready to plunge back into the abyss, we'll be here, lurking, whispering.
If you liked today's episode, tell a friend. If you hated today's episode,
you can find us on Substack, YouTube, or wherever you scream into the void about podcasts. Drop us a comment. Send us your thoughts in all caps. We love that. You're charming.
And hey, if you want to help keep these stories weird and our tea hot, you can throw some coins our way on Substack. It keeps the lights on. Literally, Lane is writing in the dark.
Paperback Radio No ads, professional narrators, and humanish weirdos telling you strange tales week after week. After week, after week, after week.
We told you to stay in the back room, Lizzie.
Ah.
Thanks for wandering through the chaos with Paperback Radio.
See you next time.